Now, Zach.
No, Arthur.
Now, Zach.
No, Arthur.
Why are people still watching?
I don't know. I'm honestly...
Why?
Dude, it's so funny because like I'll sit here and like I'll think about it, like we're just two random dudes just talking about random shit, and they're just like, yeah, I'll subscribe to that.
Yeah, we'll watch. I'll watch.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So, welcome back to Uneducation, Uned Station, the station of which education does
not happen.
Is not here.
No.
This is not
a news channel.
This is not a news channel. Have I said that? I have not said that in a while.
No.
I hope people remember. This is not a news channel.
We very well could be very wrong about a lot of things.
A lot of things. But that's okay because we're just two mates talking.
Just
talking. Just talking.
Shooting the shit, yeah.
I wonder if anybody has said anything about it yet. Actually, I took a class in social justice, and everything you said in the cancel culture episode is wrong.
Yeah, or I'm a music major and all the things that you do.
You didn't say much about the Lagarthos. Well, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Anyways, honestly, I don't know what we're going to talk about today.
I don't either.
I don't know.
We just kind of set up. Everything was great, and then I was like, Arthur, what are we talking about
And
today?
Zach, I don't want you to think of me differently now that I have a semi-man bun.
Well, I had an actual bun.
I'm the same person.
Are you making fun of me because I had a bun?
I am the same Arthur that I've always ever been.
Yeah.
Right, I just need to.
Wait, isn't it just a rubber band that you have wrapped around your head?
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Why are people still watching?
I don't know.
Audio listeners are so confused.
Dude, okay, I'm so excited for the state of confusion that we're gonna get in the comment section of like the audio ones. Wait, do the audio ones have comment sections?
So, well, here's the thing, right? To break the fourth wall, I haven't figured out the audio solution yet. Because doing Spotify and getting into Apple Music stuff is actually kind of difficult. It's not hard. One, you have to pay the subscription thing to get your podcast into it. Oh, I forgot what it's called. It's been a while. RTA? No. RTA is speedrun. Some sort of like feed thing. Like this RM feed. I forget what it's called. So it's basically like a website where you put all of your podcasts into.
Right.
And then Spotify and Apple Music just pulls from that website. So whenever you update that website, they'll update themselves.
Oh, okay.
That's how it works. So it makes sense. It makes sense to do that. Problem is, you got to pay for it, and that's bullshit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just a reminder. There's a link down below.
If you'd like to support us directly, no. No, but today, Zach, honestly, I don't have much I want to talk about. So this is going to be an episode where I'm the host and I don't have much to talk about. You know what, Zach? I may or may not have committed a sin.
What did you do?
And I talked to you about it already, but I don't think I've informed the people yet. So I, for a while, really need a new graphics card.
Mm-hmm.
Now, need might be a strong word because, frankly, nobody needs a new graphics card, right? Nobody needs a new card, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I decided that I wanted one because I'm actually thinking of doing a new themed build.
Okay.
Right. Well, why do you sound so... Come on.
Well,
Come on, man.
I think I know where this is going.
Well, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, as you know, prices are not very fun right now.
Right.
Prices, the market for graphics cards and for anything, for that matter, in the PC space, but for just graphics card notably, it's really bad, right?
Right.
And I decided that even though it's in this current market, I was going to play the waiting game. I really was. And honestly, if this doesn't work out, I'm totally fine with it. But I already pulled the trigger, so I'm doing it anyways. And what I did was I was not going to succumb to the eBay scalper prices because out of principle I can't do that.
Right.
I can't. That would be unethical of me, someone who's telling people not to do that. So I had to look for other options. Okay. I look for other options and different avenues. Thank you for looking at the TV, Zach.
Fuck. I just looked at it again. Damn it.
I've been looking for different avenues, and I thought about this method I've always known about, but it's a massive hassle to do. And basically, it's to buy an entire computer, a pre-built computer, and yank the graphics card out of it. Right. So, yeah. But now you think I'm crazy. You think I'm crazy. The people think I'm crazy.
They probably
think I'm crazy. Okay. But I've mathed this out. I took calculus. Have I said that yet? I took calculus.
I wish I could say that I was surprised.
I also took honors English too. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. I took honors English too.
Oh wow, so fancy.
I know, right? Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
Now, after doing the math, I realized that even if I buy this graphics card or if I buy an entire pre-built computer from an SI, so a system integrator, so someone like CyberPower or NZXT or someone who would build pre-builts, right? Even if I bought from them and I bought a RTX 3080 and I bought a whole PC system built around it, it would still cost less than if I would have buy that RTX 3080 on eBay.
Really?
Yes, really.
Damn.
I did the math. And I would actually be doing... So here's the thing. So I already did this. I pulled the trigger already. So I went with CyberPower. And the reason why I went with CyberPower, you're going to get a shout out, a free shout out. Good for you, okay? So I went with CyberPower because it took a while to figure out. I went through different ones. I went through iBuyPower and NZXT and Redux and all sorts of things. And those are all fine. Let me start like with this. I used to really care about pre-builts in the fact that you should not buy one. Like I always thought that,
right.
I was a preacher of build it yourself, right? Because it'll be cheaper, the experience, et cetera, right?
Right.
But the market has changed in the past couple of years, and most of the more reputable SIs, system integrator, so like CyberPower, right? iBuyPower, them, right? Not some sort of no-name ones. Most of the reputable ones, they're not going to like skimp out on the parts. So usually what would happen is that the headline specs would be like, 3900X, RTX 3080, or 2080 Ti, or whatever, 60 gigabytes of RAM, but they don't tell you anything else. They don't tell you what motherboard it is. They don't tell you what kind of RAM it is or what speed it is. See, they don't tell you what power supply it is. They might tell you they might tell you the wattage, but they don't tell you like the rating, which is very important. The rating. Right. They don't tell you what brand it's from. It could be like some jank brand which is really bad. It could die, catch on fire. All these bad stuff like that you hear about power supplies. So that's where they get you, right? Because they buy these jank stuff from the pallets, like right. Like they buy these cheapo motherboards by pallets. So that's how they can, bring those prices down, or the prices down, or even just pay MSRP and then just keep that as a profit.
Right.
Right. That's how it works. That's how I assume it works. I've never been to a factory or anything like that, and I haven't watched enough videos to know if that's how it works. So I'm assuming that's how it works, just because I know that much about how marketing and stuff works, and I work in a warehouse myself.
Right.
So I kind of know how that works. So nowadays, it's actually a lot better. And this is a good example. On CyberPower PC, the reason why I chose them is because you can pick literally every single component. You can pick the motherboard, like a B550 motherboard, but not only that, you can choose the brand, and you can choose the exact motherboard model. You can get a Tomahawk. You can get the MSI Tomahawk, right?
Right.
You can go that deep. And then in the RAM, you can pick the exact Corsair Vengeance or G-Skill Ripjaws or whatever. Power supply, you can pick the Corsair or the EVGAs, right? So you can pick literally everything. It's not a guessing game. That's why I liked that, and that's why I decided to go for it. And the prices were reasonable, or it's literally the same, right? And frankly, in this market currently, hopefully I really don't see it ever stabilizing in this year, which is a sad truth, which is another
Yeah.
reason why I'm totally fine with people but going for pre-builds. Because I mean that's what I did, and I pieced apart together a computer that I would have built. Like I would have went onto Amazon and Newegg and all these vendors, and I would have chosen these exact parts and built it myself.
And so the only difference at this point is that someone else is
building it.
Yeah.
I'm paying for them to build it.
Yeah.
And that, and then the extra fees and costs with that. But at that point, that's it. In the past, I actually bought a CyberPower PC. That was my first ever PC. Not my first ever, my second PC, but the first PC where that really got me into like the whole Call of Duty editing stuff that I did. Right. I always had a PC, but it was like I think it was an A8. I love that A8. I still have that computer. It's over there. It's over there. It's a AMD A8, I think, or A10. I don't think it's an A10. I think it's an A8, which is like 8 cores. Pretty good for like 2017. Although that architecture was kind of lacking as like behind Intel and stuff. But I had no graphics card. It was Vega graphics, I think, or whatever graphics that they used at the time. I don't remember. It's been a while. Point is, looking at that now, I totally got ripped off.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. But that's not the CyberPower one. That's a I won't say the brand.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Get fucked. Yeah, I had a similar problem with the first PC that I got. And I mean, it was before I really knew anything about computers or anything like that. And
well, that's how they get you.
Right.
They get the people that don't know much about computers.
Yeah. And so I ended up getting this pre-built PC. I got it because I needed it for school and all that kind of stuff. And so my parents bought it for me. They picked it out for me. My dad knows a little about computers and all that kind of stuff.
Same, yeah. My dad also helped me pick out that computer over there because he knew a little bit about computers. Hey, you know what? Best advice my dad ever gave me in 2017, or 2016, I think it was. Might be 16 or 17. He said, "Son, Intel is cool, but AMD is also pretty cool."
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's how I knew. I was like, oh, AMD. And now AMD is fucking killing it.
Yeah.
So shout out to AMD because they need the shout out from the show.
Yes. Yeah. Because we're totally gonna.
Because we're influencers, Zach.
Yeah. Because we're totally gonna get sponsored by AMD of all places.
Or Intel. I'm totally cool with that as well.
Yeah.
Y'all are great.
Intel is also cool. And
now here's the thing, Zach. This is a very strange tangent from what I'm trying to get to. But okay. But now I'm very passionate about this.
Now we're here.
See, we're starting to talk about computers. I said we didn't know what I was going to talk about, but everybody knows if you're going to speak with me and we're going to talk about computers, you're not going to get me to shut up.
Right.
Now, I don't know where to put this. This is just to change the scenes, by the way.
Stop that.
Why?
That's so weird. Like,
what's weird about it, Zach?
No, just flipping back and forth between the scenes.
That's unfortunate, Zach. Audio listeners. Yes.
If there are any.
If there are any. I hope
we can get it sorted by the time this is up.
Anyways. Should I just finish my point?
Yeah.
Let me finish my point. So I put together a computer basically centered around my current graphics card, the 2080. So it was not. I could have gone pretty balls to the walls, but I didn't. I went like 3600, or Ryzen 5 3600, B550 motherboard, 16 gigs of RAM. Pretty average, pretty good. And frankly, that's a pretty good system to build to build around a 2080.
Right.
If anything, the 2080 would be bottlenecked by the other stuff, but it's still a 2080. So that's what I decided to do because I'm able to do that. I can even choose the case. You see what I'm saying, right? That's why I chose CyberPower. And again, that's not to discredit any of the other ones like an NZXT or anything like that. They do fine. If you want to get a bill from them, please do. Fine and whatever. And NZXT, I think they're a little better in the sense that because they make their own stuff, like their own cases, their own motherboards, their own. Well, they only just started doing their own motherboards, but their own Kraken line AIO, which is very good line of all-in-one liquid coolers. Basically, that's where they get their savings from. Oh, they do power supplies as well. We use a power supply for Cameron's build, which, frankly, when this episode goes up, I don't even know if that video is even finished building. But we did another computer build, and I use an NZXT power supply, and it was great. I love that power supply.
You know, it's kind of funny because you were sitting there talking shit about it the entire time.
I wasn't talking shit about the power supplies. I was talking shit about the case.
Yep, that's right. It was the case. It was the case. You were like, I fucking hate this case.
I hate the NZXT 510. The H510. I'm sorry, NZXT. Your power supply is fantastic. I use the C, I think the C, or I forget what letter. Sorry. They're 750 watt, I believe, gold certified, good, decent price. You know, they're kind of high right now because of mining and that type of stuff, but and tariffs, of course. But great power supply. 510, hate that case. Why? Because it's not very good for airflow. Even though they still got pretty decent thermals. Just the ergonomics of it is not very good. And because it's placed in a price point that's very cheap, it's very compelling. Like it's like $69.99, $70. Yeah. Very compelling. But there are also better options now, but people don't know that because the 510 just basically monopolized the market. It's like, you want a case? 510. Now, I think it's a very good looking case and it's an attractive looking case. I mean, this is you built in it and Cameron's built it, and we built it with Cameron's, right? The computer build that may or may not be up yet. And it's a good looking case. I will agree. But there's so many drawbacks. That's all. But anyways. but anyways, I picked that case for this for this pre-build.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. Because, well, frankly, I didn't like the other cases. The other case is even worse. It's just glass front.
Oh.
You're fucked. No airflow.
Yeah, no.
You're fucked. You can even, like, not... You can just use it, and they'll even let you use the AMD cooler, too. And I love that. The stock cooler.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, shout out to CyberPower for having options. The site is very, very aggressive. Like, there are a lot... Like, you know how, like, unorganized Amazon is? Like, their layout and their design?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine it, like, worse.
Oh, God.
That's what their website is.
Oh, God.
So fix that. That'd be sick, just to make it a little more intuitive. Because for me, I was totally fine with navigating it as someone who knows a lot about tech. But the person that you're appealing to from CyberPower, like these SIs, are people who don't know, right? People who don't know about tech. The mom that wants to get his son a computer because he wants to play Fortnite. That's the demographic.
Right.
That's the main demographic, right?
Yeah.
So I dislike that about the website. I didn't realize that this was going to be a critiquing website. I took an HTML class, by the way. I dropped out of it, but
you're like, I didn't pass, but I mean, I still took it.
I took it. I learned a lot from it, Zach. Not more than I should have, because otherwise I wouldn't have dropped out. But I learned more than I did before the class.
You're like, I didn't learn everything that I would have learned in the class because I dropped it. But
hey, man. Coding is just not for me. No type of language is good. HTML, JavaScript, I just can't. There's no way. It's over my head.
I remember I was trying to learn how to do some coding stuff, and it was just so weird. Like, I had so much trouble with it.
I can sit if you sat me down in front of some code, I could probably understand it. But if you told me to make some code, there's no chance.
Oh, yeah.
There's no chance. That's basically where my knowledge is. I could sit down and read the basic... I mean, if it's a language I don't understand, then I'd probably have some issues, right? But in general, if you sat me down in front of some code and you told me what each did, I would say, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I could piece it together. Even if it's pretty complex, as long as you explain why it works, and yeah, that makes sense. I kind of get it. But I could not do it myself. That's basically my extent of knowledge of coding.
Yeah. And
it's funny because... one of the first coding classes I took a computer science class, 101, I think it was, and we had a lab, and the lab basically was like, how do I say this? The lab counted as only one class, so I didn't have like a class after that. So that day was like literally the only class I had that day when I can leave. It was in the morning, so I just went, took that class, and left. Right. So I was like, hell yeah, fuck it, dude. And the first couple labs were so easy. But the funny thing is, I think it's because it had to do with more common sense, because they told you all the commands to use. They just said, figure out how to make it work. That's basically how the first couple labs went. And since I am a common sense type of guy, I can do that easily, very easily, right? As long as I understand how each code works, I can put it together. I mean, did you ever take the game design class in high school?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
you didn't. It's basically what happened is you use this engine type thing, and then it had all the codes already there. You just drag and drop them,
Oh.
and I was totally fine with that. As long as it's laid out for me, I can do it. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, as long as it's explained to you in a way that like you can piece everything together. Like, that's the same thing with like building computers, working on cars,
Oh, yeah.
really anything. If you understand, like, if everything comes together in a way that just makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
then I mean, it's usually not a problem for me
Oh, no,
either.
I mean, that's why we have tutorials and stuff, right?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And like, I the AIO in, what was it?
Cameron's build?
No, Brandon's, I think. Wait, who?
Oh, we didn't do an AIO for Brandon's build. We did one. We did an air cooler.
Oh, that's right. Or no, it was for your build.
Oh, which was the same exact AIO for Cameron's build, which is funny.
Yeah. But like it went together in a way that just completely did not make sense. Hence the reason why you spent like 8 hours on it.
See, here's the thing, Zach. You can look it up on my channel. I didn't record all of it. I did a massive cuts, but basically my start and finish time for installing that, it was a Cooler Master ML120R, or no, 240R. So 240 millimeter red AIO, and I really like this. I really like it. I chose it. Oh, excuse me. It was a little inexpensive, like about $100 for a 240. So at the time in like 2019, that basically meant it's pretty budget.
Yeah.
But I chose it for aesthetics. I decided to go for an aesthetics approach. So I chose that, and I just liked how I liked how the hub looked. It wasn't too aggressive. I really like the Cooler Master logo. It's just that kind of cube thing.
Yeah.
And then the way they did it in that, I just love it. It was so great. But the installation was a nightmare, but that's also because I didn't know what I was doing. And there weren't very many. There were tutorials, but it wasn't very, in my opinion, very thorough.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because when I was doing it for Cameron's build now, because I repurposed it, I have a new AIO, and then basically I repurposed it, or the old Cooler Master one, to Cameron's build, which may or may not be up yet. I don't know. Depending on when we recorded or when we're shooting this right now. But, and that didn't take very long because I've learned some things. I wanted to explain it in the video, but I realized that would have taken too long. So I'm going to explain it now. So the way the Cooler Master AIO works, I'm doing it now. Fuck you. I'm doing it now. So the way the Cooler AIO works is that,
all right.
what I thought was, so you get this box, this controller, and you can plug everything into it, like accordingly. And then that's how you control the lighting. And I was getting really pissy that it wasn't working with software. But then I realized I'm just an idiot, and that's not how it works. And I know it now. So the connections that they had, I thought they were Cooler Master proprietary connections, like they were their own connections. But no, they're just 5 volt and 12, which you might not know what that is, but you just plug that in straight into your motherboard.
Oh.
And then you control it through motherboard software, the lighting. That's how you're able to control it through the software, or through the computer, instead of like with the little box thing that you plug it into. I didn't know that at the time. So now that I know way more than I did before, I made that realization, like, oh, wait, this is just a 5 volt. This is just a 12 volt. So I did that. So that was great.
Okay.
So I want to make that clear because I never mentioned it ever. So I feel like if anybody has watched because I complained a lot about it on Twitter at the time. I was so pissed. I even at them. I was pissed, but now I take it back. Cooler Master, y'all are chilling, but
I take it all back.
y'all are chilling. But basically, I want to say that because I never said it on paper how actually fine it was. I just didn't realize, because literally nowhere in the manual did it ever say you can do that. Everywhere in the manual suggests that you put it into the box. I mean, I might have overlooked it, but if I overlooked it, then that means they didn't, like, it wasn't obvious. They didn't make it obvious enough.
Yeah, they didn't emphasize it.
They did not emphasize it enough.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know that. And as the average person, who doesn't know about computers, as an average person who would have chosen a $100 AIO over a $150 AIO, I don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, but now that I do know that, I realize that, these are just the same ones, and you plug it, right? So yeah, basically, that's a cool one. Where am I going with this?
I don't know. You lost me. Like,
I'm so sorry. Where was I going with this? Core Master is cool. Y'all are chilling. You guys have chairs. You should send us chairs.
I like your chairs.
Your chairs are cool. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna reel it back to the computer that I bought from CyberPower because you can pick all of it. Right?
Oh, that's where we were going. I forgot.
I'm so sorry. Where did this tangent happen? I'm so sorry, Zach. I'm stealing the show tonight.
No, it's okay. I'll steal the next one. It's
all
fine.
right. Okay. So basically, I bought this computer, and the total came out to be about, I forget what the exact, but let's just say like 2,500, which is a lot. I mean, that's a computer, you know.
Yeah, that's a
computer.
That's a computer.
But Zach, if you go on eBay right now, like go ahead, check the prices right now. Let's see it. Go to eBay right now and then look up RTX 3080 and go to buy it now. Because you can go look at bids. There's a way to see sold bids, like bids that won. You can see like what price that ended up being, but I don't know how to do that myself.
The 3080?
Yes, RTX 3080, because that's the graphics card that I chose. I'm not doing a 3090, sorry. And I'm not doing a AMD card. They are fantastic, but the problem is if you're doing anything like 3D works wise, I think it's called full render. I forget what they call it. Is not like it just doesn't work with 3D stuff. It sucks ass, like massive ass. Like if you try to do Blender or I don't know about Blender, but it's like Cinema 4D, for example, Octane render. It just doesn't work. So if that's the workflow that you work in, that's just not. It's not a good time. So get it until they optimize it better, which they are. They're starting to do it better. But for now, I would stick with RTX if you're doing that. But if you're just strictly gaming, I would do AMD 100%. If you're strictly gaming, I would do AMD because their value proposition is way better. Anyways, let me hear it.
Holy shit.
Let me hear it, Zach. Let me hear it.
The first three listings are 2,800, 3,500, 2,900, 26,
Yep.
3,000, 27, 24, 29.
Yep. So you see, right? And I paid that same price, but I got a whole computer with it.
You got a whole ass computer.
Whole computer with it, Zach. So now I don't seem as insane. Now my plan is not as crazy.
Yeah.
On the surface. Now it's still $20 so $100, and I don't like that on a $700 graphics card.
Right.
So here's the thing. If I take my 2080, RTX 2080, and stick it in this computer and sell it, if I even make like half what I paid for this computer back, I would have still spent half as much as I would have on an eBay card.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So as long as I could do that, like even if like obviously like if I have to sell it for some dirt cheap shit, I mean obviously I won't, but let's say I do, I will still be way better than buying from there.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane.
Right. Now that I piece all the puzzle pieces together, now this seems like a smacking idea. There's a couple problems with this. One, as you can tell, is very involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like there's way too many steps, and frankly, it would be just easier to just buy it from eBay. It wouldn't actually. You need to do some research. You need to make sure that you do need to make sure that you're buying from that it's correct. You know that it's not a scam. But as long as you do it, then eBay is fine. But the problem is you have to try and buy it, or you have to you're buying a whole computer, working that out, and you have to resell it. And I'm banking on the resell in order to make my money back.
Right.
Otherwise, it would have just been not a waste because now I have a whole computer with this 2080, but it still would suck. So, yeah, that's my plan. That's how I'm gonna get 3080.
Oh, I just have to ask what card's in here?
What? That's the card that you have, the 660.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, for this PC that we use to stream. That is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The 3080 that I'm gonna get is hopefully. So there's a reason actually why I'm doing this. And if I wasn't going to do a new themed build, the way I'm going to do this build, I probably would have just kept the 2080. And this is very selfish. I understand. I totally get it. Okay, I understand. But here's the thing. One, I'm not going to mine with it. Get fucked.
Get fucked.
Out of principle, I cannot mine with it. Even though I know I will make if I get this 3080 and I start mining, I could probably just make all that money back.
So the people are using it for cryptocurrency
Yes,
mining, right?
cryptocurrency. Yeah.
Okay.
Out of principle, I just can't do it.
Okay.
Even if I will make more money back, even if I profit, I can't do it. I really can't. Just out of ethics and principle, out of what I'm trying to preach, right? I can't do that. Anyways, my use case is actually so the theme build I'm doing, I'm not going to spoil it, but basically I'm going to be water cooling.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm going to delve into open custom loop water cooling, which is something I've always wanted to do. One, for the experience, and two, because of that experience, I'll be able to help others with it.
Nice.
Right, because I've kind of been that tech guy in
The tech
my space.
guru?
Yeah, the tech guru in my
Yeah.
space. And I'm kind of self-proclaiming it, but I mean, I think it's safe to self-proclaim it because that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that, to give
Yeah.
myself that title.
I mean, you've always been the person who I've gone to for tech related things, whether it's PC, phones, just like anything random.
Anything that has a chip in it.
Yeah, basically.
Anything that has a motherboard in it.
a fucking Samsung fridge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you are very similar to me in the way that you will sit and research something until you know way more than you probably should about something.
Yeah.
Like that fucking air conditioner
This air conditioner behind me, which you guys don't hear obviously because it's off and we're sitting here sweating and I'm wearing a sweatshirt
Yeah.
just to have different wardrobes.
Silly goose.
He's wearing the same thing he's worn in episode 1.
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
I am.
Get fucked.
Get fucked.
The strat is just use up the shirts. When you use up the shirts, use sweatshirts. Might get a little hot, but it's for the continuity, Zach. I'll
For
do
the
anything for the
continuity.
camera.
I'll do.
I'll do anything once, Zach. So, anyways, yeah, oh gosh, I don't mean to go on another tangent, but I'm going to go on another tangent. Everybody wants the story to end, Zach. When is the story going to end, Anuki? Listen. Okay, so
Okay.
I
ready.
got into because I mean I think it's good to say just as my tech background. So I got into technology literally because I was in the laptop market when I was going into college. So before then I knew nothing. Before then that was my pre-built computer. I got a pre-built computer going into college. That was my graduation present. So the CyberPower PC that I mentioned before that I bought, that's the one I bought. And it had an 8700K, a 1060. You know, it was a pretty banging card for the time, or a banging system for the time.
Right.
I've later learned that I kind of gotten gypped, but that's okay. Whatever. It was a different time. I'm sure they're better. I mean, hey, I ordered one. I'll be the judge.
Yeah. Right.
I'll see. You know, Zach, what's another tangent? Here we go.
Your
Zach.
tangents are getting layered, Arthur.
Zach, here we go. I have a complaint.
Okay. Other than the fact that I keep looking at the TV.
Other
on
than you look
accident.
at, see, nobody understands, but I'm not going to explain it. Just know that there's a TV here, and Zach keeps looking at it.
I'm sorry. It's a force of habit.
Well, then maybe don't.
You're like
maybe just don't.
You're like, see this thing that you're doing right now? Stop it.
So in Cyberpunk, you know what? No, I'm gonna finish.
Finish oh my god.
I'm gonna finish the previous
fucking
tangent,
story.
and then I'm gonna finish the story. So the previous
Okay.
tangent, I started getting into technology when I was in the laptop market for college because I needed a laptop, right? And then I ended up getting this bad boy. Not a laptop. I got an iPad Pro, 2018. And then I got gypped because the 2019 version came out.
Rip.
Or a 2020 version came out. But it is besides the point. And now the M1 is coming out. But that's also besides the point. I got this because I ended up realizing that I wanted to do a couple more things that the iPad was able to do that laptops at the time were not really able to do. And I was kind of intrigued by the whole iPad life. Just seeing how that would work. And so far it's been really fun. I've enjoyed my time using an iPad. And before I was using that MacBook over there that you're using right now.
Yeah, that one.
That shit sucked. I hate. You can tell it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's why. I'm so glad that we've gotten to a point where everything is just less than 4 pounds. Well, I mean, as long as you're going for a thin and light, of course. But a thin and light, it's just natural that it'll be like 4 pounds or less, right? And that's fantastic.
Right.
But that's what I had to use, and I was like, "This is okay. I can't do this anymore." Also, it's slow. This is a 2010-ish laptop, so going into college 2019 or 2018, 2019, you know.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, I've done some upgrades, but still, it just can't, right? It just can't. So I ended up getting into the laptop market. And basically, I just went down a massive, massive rabbit hole. It all started with Dave 2D. Dave 2D. Shout out to you, Dave 2D.
Yeah.
For being the greatest laptop reviewer of all time. No, but of course I watched all sorts of ones, Hardware Connects and Jared Tech, all sorts of laptop reviewers. And from that point I got into other just PC reviewers, or tech tubers, right? I started going all to avenues. I started watching the Linus Tech Tips and the Jay's 2 Cents and the Bitwits and Paul Hardwares and, all of them, right?
Right.
The Gamers Nexus for the more analytical stuff. I started going into all of those, and that's basically how I started. Basically, I just ended up learning way more about computers or about laptops than I planned to. And someone is blasting music. Are they in my driveway? What is going on? What is happening? What is going on? Wait, I'm so confused. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to have background music. Hopefully the mic doesn't pick that up. If it does, well, rest in peace, copyright. I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe our neighbors. I don't know.
Wait. Okay, it's gone.
It's going away. What just happened?
Just as quickly
if
as
you
it
can't
came.
hear it, if the mic didn't pick it up, people are so confused right now.
Yeah, I know. It was
Some music started playing in the background. It sounded like literally was right outside my window. Very odd. Anyways.
I can still hear it.
Yeah, it's like... It's gone now. Nobody can hear it now. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
Okay, whatever.
It's only gonna haunt our nightmares.
Anyways, all I'm trying to say is that's how my tech guru started. My tech journey started, where I just got into the laptop market, and then I learned about way too much about laptops than I probably should have.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how it went, and that's how I got into computers, and I learned way more about computers than I needed to. So yeah, just tech tubers. Just watch tech tubers, and you just pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because for me, it started around the same time too, because I wanted to get into playing video games and all those types of things, and I had my first pre-build that I had for many, many years. And I remember the first time I ever really touched the internals of a computer was my dad's media PC that he built.
Oh, I still have yet to do that. I really want to.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. I mean, granted, my quote unquote helping was consisting of holding flashlights and maybe plugging in a couple things, as you would when you're like 12, 13 years old.
Yes.
But basically the intrigue kind of grew from there, and then
I mean, once you get hands-on experience of anything, and if it's just if it's new, that's how, I've said this many times, right? How when parents just throw you into lessons and stuff, right? They throw you into swimming lessons and karate and taekwondo and football and soccer and band and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
They do it for a reason, and it's because you don't know what you like. As a kid, you don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, and so as I started to like playing games more and more, and I realized that buying consoles was bullshit, to a certain extent. That, and then I helped my buddy Ben build a PC. Ben, I love you. And then and then I started talking to you about tech, about building PCs and stuff, and that was right around the time when both of us were going into college. And so shortly after that, I built my PC on a table. That's a really funny story that I would love to get into.
Oh, man. I need to finish my story before we say your stories.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I started my kind of like tech journey around the same time as you, just completely independent from you, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
It was weird. Anyways, finish your fucking story.
I will finish the story, Zach. Just let me finish my tangents first. Okay.
You're starting other tangents.
No, I finished one of them. I finished the origin story of my tech. Okay. All right, let me finish I don't remember the tangent, so let me just finish the main story.
Okay.
What was the main story?
You were talking about you bought a CyberPower pre-build.
I bought a CyberPower PC for a 3080 because I wanted to do a themed build and water cool it. So I have currently a 2080 non-TI, an RTX 2080, and a Ryzen 3900X. Bunch of specs. If you care, ask about it in the comments and I'll tell you. Otherwise, just go to my stream, twitch.tv/Anuki, and then you can do you can run some commands like exclamation point PC, or just go down to the panels and you can see all my specs as well as where to buy them, because I did a Google Sheets.
You did a thing.
I did a sheet. I did it. Yeah, I made a Google Sheets, and you can go to the parts and go to the site to buy it. Cool. Yeah, it's fantastic. Anyways, if you care about that, but basically I have an RTX 2080, and I really want to water cool because I want the experience, like I said, for the experience to do so.
Right.
Because I've always been, I mean, if I'm self-proclaiming myself as a tech guru, I feel like I really need some sort of experience in this kind of water cooling.
Right.
2, I just like building computers.
Yeah.
I built this computer that we're using to film this podcast. Before, we just shot it onto SD cards. And then I sat there and painstakingly edited it. And I still have to do like 4 more episodes of that. And I hate my life doing it because it's a lot of work. So I found that just switching scenes like this and just go through OBS and everything, it's way more streamlined. And that way we can pump out more episodes for you guys. Anyways, that's enough meta talk.
Anyways.
Basically, I built this. It's been a really long time since I built a computer, I realized.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about with the Cameron build that may or may not be out yet. He built that computer. I was just there to guide him. And I felt like I was a coke addict who was rehabilitated and was watching someone do coke in front of me.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little extreme, but that's how I felt like.
Yeah, and I mean, I was there for I've been there for all of the PC builds that you've put on YouTube.
Yeah, you were the cameraman, buddy. And I sat there and I really wanted to, but at the same time, I knew I wanted him to build it, so it's fine. I wasn't like jealous or anything. I mean, I was a little jealous, but it's all good.
Yeah.
It was a fun video to shoot and film and get together, so it was a lot of fun. But then we really needed a computer for this podcast, right? So I looked at my parts, like things people have lying around,
Right, as you would,
as one might, like a 3700X Ryzen 7. Just lying around. A spare motherboard, B450 motherboard, and a case.
Yeah.
A graphics card. An old graphics card and some fans.
Sure.
Some drives.
Yeah.
Some drives, Just things people have lying around. A full kit of RAM.
Yeah.
Just things people have lying around, right?
Oh my gosh, Arthur, we need to tell them about
Do I have to tell them about it, Zach?
I just
want to keep it under wraps. I really don't want to say. Okay, listen.
Tell them about the bag.
This is another tangent, Zach.
You already finished your story.
Did I finish my story?
Yes, you said that you wanted to learn about
I don't even remember where I was going with it.
I don't know.
Where was I going? Okay, fine. I'll do this tangent, Zach. So, I was looking for the kit of RAM, the 16 gigabyte kit of RAM that I just have lying around.
As you would.
As one might, right?
Right, as one might.
As one might. A guy like me. Guy like you.
Yeah.
Someone like Zach might just have a kit lying around.
Totally.
Yes. Might have an iMac behind me, like just hanging out, as one might.
As one might.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I know I had this, and I couldn't find it. Basically, I could not find where I put this kit of RAM. I was like, well, that's weird, because I was literally just using it for testing, because I was having PC issues. Anybody who's followed my Twitter knows that I've been having nasty PC issues. I resolved it for now. So hopefully that it's all good. But I was having some issues, and I ended up one of them being RAM, and I had to do some testing, and so I used it. So I knew I used it recently, very, very recently, and it was just gone. I was like, where the frick did I put it? So I had to buy a whole new kit of RAM, and right now RAM prices are up again. Not as up as they used to be, but they're up. They're up-ish, which is kind of lame. But the market right now, it's what it is. Yeah. It's whatever. It's still, after what I used to pay for computer parts, I still think is fine.
Yeah,
I still think it's I still think it's really cheap. So I'm chill. So I bought another kit of RAM, and so this mic stand that I have, Zach. It's not as cool as yours, although yours is just an Amazon Basics mic stand. Mine, for whatever reason, doesn't have the weight in the girth to hold up this microphone, which isn't even that heavy.
Right.
I mean, it has some weight, but it's not terribly heavy, but it's still not enough. So I need a counterweight, right? Although, for many cases, you need a counterweight if you're using a tripod for stuff, right? So it's not new, nothing new. You need something to put over there. So I do have that. I have this bag. I probably gotta hold I gotta hold the mic. So I have this bag, and I place some things in here, Zach. You don't have to hold. No, that's okay. All right, whatever. So I have. Don't touch my. It's gonna go in the mic, Zach. Don't touch my stand.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, so this is the kind of what I have. It's just a bag, and then I put some stuff in here, right? Cool. I put some weighty stuff in here. What do I have in here? Let's see. I have a 8 terabyte hard drive, external hard drive. Things just
lying around.
Things that people have lying around. An 8 terabyte external hard drive. Let's see. I have a Wi-Fi 6 card. Expansion card, which, by the way, I was also looking for Cameron's bill, but we couldn't find it. It was in here. I was using it for counterweight, so I will hand that to him. Just a Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0 card. PCI. Things one might have lying around.
Right.
Right. And then other things that people might have lying around is a kit of 16 gigabytes of RAM. So, Zach, I found the RAM.
I know.
I was using it as a counterweight. I was using a 16 gig kit of RAM, 3200 speed. CL16. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy. Just as a counterweight.
The reason,
as one might.
Yeah, as one might.
As one might.
The reason why I wanted you to tell that story is because I was here when you found it.
You were here when I found it. Yes, It was for a shoot. I think it was a couple weeks ago. It was for a podcast shoot.
Right, and I was like,
and then yeah. What did you say, Zach?
Oh, I was honestly just wondering what was in the bag.
And I was too because I've forgotten.
This is why we don't put PC parts in a fucking bag and use it as a counterweight.
But Zach, it's so minutely heavy. But not too heavy, but heavy enough to hold a microphone. So of course I'm gonna use it as a counterweight, Zach. What do you mean? It's just lying around. Everybody has one of these lying around, Zach. Right? I'm not crazy. Right?
Totally. Yeah.
No. People have these lying around.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Totally. Yeah.
You're judging me, Zach.
I'm not judging.
You're judging me. I know you are. You're looking at me like you're judging me.
No, I'm just looking at you because you're a goofy motherfucker. Because who the hell else would use?
What do you mean? Other people would.
Well, I mean,
right? I don't know. I don't know if I can keep this bit up anymore. But no. So I just put some household items inside a bag.
Some household items.
like an 8 terabyte external hard drive, a Wi-Fi 6 card, and some RAM modules. Should I just stick this in this computer so we have 32 gigs of RAM and a stream PC, Zach?
Fuck it.
No, I'll save it. Okay. Now, Zach, I'm going to need you to steal the show because I have to put this counterweight back.
Okay. So...
Go ahead, Zach. Judge me.
I'm
putting this RAM back into this bag to use as a counterweight once again.
Once again.
It is going back into the bag, and I will forget about it once again. 8 terabyte hard drive in the bag. Wi-Fi 6 card in the bag. Go on, Zach. Keep judging me.
I'm not judging you.
You're judging me, Zach.
I'm not judging.
I know you are.
Why are you being so insecure about it?
I'm not being insecure. Why are you judging me?
I'm not judging you.
Why would you make me tell the story? You weren't going to judge me. I didn't want to tell the story, Zach, but here we are.
No, I just found it really, really funny, just for the sheer fact that you are the only person that I know that would ever have something like that happen.
So I want to water cool this PC. I really want to water cool this PC, and I didn't want to water cool my 2080 because I realized even if it was for the experience. I don't know. Water cooling, because I've always been under the assumption that, this is still my belief too, that if you're going to water cool, because water cooling is very expensive.
Right.
You know this, right? We all know this. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
So if you're going to spend money on water blocks and tubing and stuff to water cool a 2080 or not even a top tier card, then you might as well take that money and buy the top tier card.
Right.
Right? If you have that money, then buy the top tier card.
Yeah.
And then not worry about all the water cooling stuff, because otherwise, unless here's the thing, right? Now here's the reason that I'm coming in, right? Enthusiast stuff. Hobbyism.
Yeah.
That's where the line begins to kind of blur a little bit, because I am a firm believer that if you are financially responsible and you are okay with your finances and you're okay to do something, or if you are capable of making a certain purchase for a hobby and you'll be fine, then do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Because we've established this already. Life's just about having fun.
Yeah.
And if we don't have our hobbies, then then everything is just work.
I mean, if you look at everything that's on my table right now, like all of this camera stuff, like that's a hobby that I've been into for a long time.
Yeah, and that costs money.
Yeah, it costs an
Cameras,
ungodly amount of
camera
money.
and lenses cost money. Lenses cost more than the camera at times. Most times.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, it's just absolutely
It's a very
absurd.
expensive venture, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that
when you put it on paper and you put it in front of your face,
Yeah.
it's a little it's harsh, But if you're okay, if you can choke or not choke, if you can swallow the financial hit, you'll be fine. You can eat another plate.
Yeah.
You can pay rent. What's the problem? What's the harm?
Right.
Yeah,
and
it's important. Yeah, go ahead.
And I mean, when you think about the concept of me paying for a camera that's like just as much as a PC that you just bought.
Yeah.
That sounds a little bit unrealistic, but
yeah,
but it's something that I enjoy doing, and it's something that has helped me a lot, and it's helped a lot of the people around me a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Now, but as someone who is pretty frugal, who's lived a frugal life,
right.
I've been raised to be not necessarily a cheapskate, but I've said we said it already, like the value of money, right?
Right.
Very, very important thing to understand. If you can get that concept when you're young, you will be set.
Right.
You would be doing way better than many people who are living right now.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just here. I don't mean in the States. I mean in the world. Because there are even some adults who don't get it.
Right.
But at the same time, there are times where there are stupid purchases.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
like how Zach, these mics right now we're talking in, right?
Yeah.
They sound pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
You would think, yeah, pretty all right. Yeah, pretty good, eh?
Yeah. They're not that bad.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I enjoy the volume. I enjoy the sound of it. There's some shortcomings, but $70 mic. There's not a $350 Shure SMB that's a Twitch streamer with 500 subs or 500 followers bought.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I just targeted. That was a targeted hit.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I hate that so much.
Yeah.
I hate when. Sorry. I'm gonna rant, and you can. I don't know. You're part of this rant, so I'll let you go. But let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I have people I know in the space, streamers and whatnot, who are buying super expensive shit. One, they don't know how to use it. They have like a super close proximity Shure SMB, and they put it all the way over here. It's right here. Hey guys, welcome back to the stream.
Can't hear jack diddly shit out of that thing.
But they don't speak that way. Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. We just hit 10 followers. I decided to splurge a little.
A little.
I decided to splurge a little, and I bought this Shure SM. Some people go through their lifetime. Some professionals go through their lifetime and don't buy those type of things until they're like pretty darn good at. If you can make the money, because that's a professional tool,
right?
They use it for radios, broadcasts.
Yeah.
The Shure SM7B is a professional tool. It's
right.
not just it's not a microphone you throw around and toss around. That's why it's $350.
Right.
Right? It's no slouch. They use it in commercial, business, industry. So you have to treat it as such. You have to understand that the people who are buying these mics are going to make that money back by using it.
Right.
That is where, see, I sound like a hypocrite because I'm saying, okay, well, if it's a hobby, then why don't you spend your money on that? And why don't you spend your money on it?
Right.
Because I bought a $70 microphone, and this sounds probably just as good as what they're doing, because they don't know how, these people don't know how a Shure SM7B works. They don't understand how gain and audio works. Frankly, I don't either. I had to learn a lot by using this. I've learned a lot in this podcast so far about audio and audio engineering, and engineering is not the correct word, but a lot of audio things. Yeah, I basically just went down an audio rabbit hole, and this whole podcast itself was a learning curve, and it's been a lot of fun for me to learn about audio and OBS and getting, that type of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it's always been upgrade when you feel like you have hit the limitations of the equipment that you have.
Yes.
Hence the reason why I'm wanting to upgrade my camera. Hence the reason why, for us to do any upgrades on the set, we're going to wait until we feel like there's something that we need to get done.
Yes.
That we can't do with the equipment that we have.
Every single thing that we've bought so far is practical.
Yeah.
Is because we need it. It's an upgrade, we need it. It's a necessity.
Yeah.
It isn't, there's some things that, sure, you can say, oh, Anuki, why don't you just buy like a $20 mic? Well, just shut up. You're an idiot. That's obviously a different level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
at the same time, I bought the $70 mic and it sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
It goes on sale for like $50 every now and then too.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you're talking about something that is going to be contributing to a potential career for you, it's
that changes the stakes for me, because that changes the stakes for me, because this is something that I'm trying to talk into a potential career.
Yeah.
Right. So this is part of it, and this is why I've justified buying some extra stuff. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and the same thing goes with all of my camera gear and all of that type of stuff. And I guess to just kind of like, to wrap this tangent among the many tangents that we've had into a nice little bow, I would say, if you enjoy doing something, do it. But do it in a way to where you are constantly able to learn and grow. And, just because you don't have the nicest, greatest thing ever, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to do a good job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a saying that, the tools don't make the painter,
Yeah.
You can give if you give an amateur pro tools, that doesn't make them a pro.
Exactly.
But if you give a pro amateur tools,
they'll be able to make something.
They'll be able to make something because they know what they're doing. Right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Basically, another podcast about the value of money, but it is very important. It really is. And I really hope that, it's tough. I understand. Kids will be kids. And I say it all the time. You really can't be mad at kids being kids. You really can't, because they don't understand. But if they can get it, then that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about all the time that I have to say for today, I guess. I think
right.
we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching or listening. As always, sub or leave a like, all that type of stuff. Coffee link in the description if you want to help us directly. And that's about all we got. You have anything to say, Zach?
Bye.
Nothing ever to say, eh? Just bye. Just bye.